Yo, 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 1 2 1 2, what it do? We are here live at Views from the 22. A lot to discuss on the football spectrum. Mo is a little under the weather, so we're gonna hold it down like it's whatever. Um, Jerm, talk to the people before we get in.
First of all, good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing good. Hope everybody feeling good. Hope everything is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Will you be mine? Will you be my neighbor? And
Uh,
then we play the beautiful piano. With that being said, well, we see the little donkey, so you know what's
Listen,
happening.
yo, I
Um,
control over what she does. Like she runs this household, so it's like she ate, so she felt the need to pop on the pot. So everybody say,
well,
okay.
there we go.
Oh,
So we here.
yeah.
Um, we got a really nice little smooth little show. A little Sagittarius energy, you know what I'm saying, and going and close out the season last day. What
Yeah.
way to close it out with the two Sages. So at the end of the day, man,
Which means this could go either way. I have no idea. This could go
it could
left
go
quick.
left. We don't know. We
It
don't
could
know.
go left quick. You say the right thing, like it could go left.
So we're gonna hold it down for y'all for the last day of the season. And Jay Ham might pop on here too. You never know. Just to make it official. Then
That's
it's
a
we
that's a
don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But
Right. My man in the kitchen in like real life, so I'm already knowing he whipping up something big. So shout out
MJ,
to
how you doing?
shout out, was that
How you doing?
man, bro? Like I live every day is a holiday for me because every day above ground is a present. That's why they call it the present. So
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna make anything do what it do, and that's how it goes. So with that, let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, Bears and Packers game yesterday was incredible. Let me just paint the scene for me. I was in a place with libations and good food, with a lot of people that has the same tone and complexion that I have. Some a little darker, some a little lighter. It was music being played. I've seen every piece of emotion you can see in a 3 hour span from a human being in that building. Every one of them. And that's what sports is about in real life. I had one of my homies, shout out to Caldwell. I see you. He a Cowboy fan. Don't get on him too hard. Pause. But he got Caleb Williams on his fantasy, so he was a Renner Bears fan for that moment. And even like, you can't deny like how fun it is to see the Bears keep pulling these games out. It's fun. Now we are going to talk technical football because that's what we're here for. But what I can say about Caleb, and then I'm gonna roll it out to Germ on this. It's a lot of things he needs to improve on, but it's a lot of technically sound quarterbacks that cannot do what he do either. So I'm rooting for the guy. I'm rooting for the coaching staff to be able to find that balance, to be able to turn him into one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen. Work on that accuracy. Work on planting them feet every time. Your escapability is great. Your ability to embrace the moment is cool. I'm still not feeling the nail polish, but that's hey to each his own. Rodman had nail polish for the let, yo for my ONs. Let's not act like y'all didn't like Dennis Rodman grabbing 19 rebounds a game, and he did a lot of such stuff in the 90s. So just letting y'all know that. John, what's going on, man? Talk to us about
So,
Caleb and the game yesterday.
well, the thing is, Caleb is a rule breaker. So let's make sure we understand that there are, as Mo would say, there are exceptions to every. The problem is sometimes in those situations you want Caleb to be a part of the rules and follow the rules. And I think that's where we come down to the things when it comes down to Caleb. We gotta stay on schedule sometimes. Sometimes we gotta stay in the pocket. Sometimes we have to. He doesn't have a natural quarterback feel in certain situations, and that works for him. And then there's other situations that he doesn't have a natural quarterback back feeling, and it hurts him. So what we're hoping is we're hoping that we can get enough of him in that pocket when it matters the most, because that is his place. He's going to be the most protected. We didn't build an offensive line for you to be out of the proverbial pocket as much as you are. So that, I think, is going to be the biggest thing. That, see, when we talk about quarterback traits and things like that, and not to bring in another quarterback and other things like that, but there are certain quarterbacks you can tell have different feel. So
Yeah.
comparing Caleb and then comparing Shedeur,
Right.
for example, Shedeur is a natural quarterback feel because his natural instinct isn't necessarily to get out of the pocket, it's to keep his eyes downfield.
Right.
Caleb has always been a little bit better athlete. So we talking about a situation where you've been able to get away with some things because you haven't been brought up the same type of way. That doesn't mean one is better than the other in this conversation. It's
No.
just nature versus nurture. Like me and you talked about before, nature versus nurture. What's the difference between Kevin Durant and what's the difference between Kawhi Leonard? Nature versus nurture,
There you go.
right? KD is nature, and then Kawhi is nurture.
I like
So
it.
we're looking at the same type of principle. The nature of what Caleb can do is what makes him who he is and what made him a number one overall pick. That's just what it is when it comes down to it. The throw, the step up, those are the things that if he was consistent with, I mean, it's really undeniably going to be a thing that's going to transition from a week to week standpoint,
Yeah.
because pocket ability and being able to move and sidestep and just understand that a little step to the left with my eyes downfield and feeling where the pressure is coming from, feeling and understanding it, that is the stuff that when Caleb improves on, he goes to that upper echelon level.
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Like,
Oh,
throw
yeah.
was incredible. The
Yeah.
throw was incredible. Like, I can't.
Actually.
Beautiful. I mean, it was a beautiful, nice little subtle step, a nice, beautiful hitch step into it. I mean, I was like, hey, I didn't expect it to be that clean.
Right.
And then it was like game blouses. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Also, shout out to DJ Moore too on, being so savvy enough to cut off the DB's route to get in front of the ball or try to cut underneath it.
Yep.
It's just subtle stuff. These are stuff that people don't look at either. As soon as he threw it and I saw DJ Moore's position, and I was like, that's game. Because there was no way, and Keshon Nixon has had a great year this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was no way. It was almost like he sealed him, but was still running in the process to the point where he couldn't get around him. So the ball could only go to him. Either he was going to catch it or drop it. And knowing DJ Moore, after signing that contract and having a D. Trey Moore, he ain't dropping that ball. He not.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing the one lost thing that I think in this NFL that we could talk about for receivers is the ability to have late hands and track the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's two different abilities in itself. Ball tracking is one of the hardest things for these receivers to do, especially with your helmet on, and being able to see and guide the ball into your hands. But the other thing is a lot of receivers give up their position so much by putting their hands up so early. And that gives the DB something to hit. DJ kept his hands low and brought them subtly up. And when I say subtly, it's an up motion here and it's late. So what you're doing is that's the ultimate sign that you are not only tracking the ball, but you understand where the trajectory and where the ball is going. And that is a lost art in receiving today because we got a lot of receivers that like to catch the ball here. And this is not a catch. This right here, this look like you hunching. This ain't what we doing. This ain't what we do, okay? We don't do this. We catch the ball this way or we catch it this way. We don't catch the ball like this.
Right.
No. Absolutely not.
School them that.
Stupid.
Stupid. Yeah, but I say this about Caleb, and then we'll move a little forward. Because also, too, let's not forget Jordan Love being knocked out did, lead to a lot of things. And, Malik Willis didn't look bad, but it was just after a while, it was just the momentum was on his side. But the one thing that I see about Caleb is it's almost like he wants it so bad that it seems like he overthinks to the point where until he gets two court scores down, and then he just like F it. And that's what's been the theme all season this year. He's trying to do it the right way. He's trying to read it, but this is second year. He ain't gonna really get comfortable with the playbook and with reading defenses till around year 5. And it's only until the moment where he's like under the most duress and his back against the wall to where he just goes back to playing football. So I think the hardest thing going to be is to how to balance that out. Like, yo, just go play. We'll live with some of your mistakes. We're still looking to do certain things, but go play to see if we can get 2/4 of those last 3 minutes that you usually show. We get 2/4 of that, now we getting somewhere. Because all we don't need is about 2/4 for that to happen. John?
Mm-hmm. And that right there is what we talk about when we talk about those situations. I'm sharing a link, and I put the wrong link on it.
No,
but more than anything, Jordan Love plays in a style that gets him in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets himself in trouble in these situations. That's why I call him the NFC version of Pat Mahomes. Pat has been fortunate to not get injured until this year, but they do a lot of things again where these rule breakers get themselves in trouble. This is the problem with the new epidemic of all of this mobility. The mobility isn't anything other than another way for you to get hurt. And I say that because then you land on the shoulder the wrong way. What do you use to throw the ball? like we got to think about some of these things. So the nurturing part of this with the young quarterbacks needs to be when we run, we have to know when to get down. When we move in the pocket, we have to know how to fall. Yes, I said how to fall. Because there are ways in which you can sometimes, bro, you just got to tuck your tail and give up.
Live to see the next play. And also, even with the running, like quarterbacks are not meant to be doing all the cutting that receivers are doing. That's how Pat Mahomes, this whole season, Pat Mahomes has been running way more, which means now that those rubber bands in your knees, it's only so long you can pull them motherfuckers until they start popping.
That and then the ultimate thing too is like we just gotta get to the point where we understand that we are here. We're not here to consistently have quarterbacks be on the move as much as they are in the NFL today. The pocket is the place that they are protected the most. That's the part where you force defenders to hit you in a strike zone, right? Mm-hmm. That's the place that you can dictate so much about the game. So what I want to know is why aren't we using that to our advantage? Why aren't we building walls in front of our quarterbacks and making our quarterbacks understand that this wall, we don't go past this wall.
Correct. And Kirk Cousins had a really good take in his last game when he was just kind of breaking down the real difference, because he was like, usually the reason why it was easier to navigate the pocket when I was in my last system is because I was only focused on one half of the field. And I knew that ball was coming out. He said, now I'm in more of a progressive style of play, and you got to move through those quick because you got about 3 seconds. So trying to progress from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the NFL where you got sub 4.4, sub 4.3s coming down your neck, it's tough. So I think that's another reason why, a lot of coaches have went to the progression stage because they know that they quarterback can buy time. But like you stated, I think that's a slippery slope. We got to find some balance. All right, so one of the dope things about the Green Bay and the Bears game was not just the fact that it's one of the best rivalries and went to overtime, but it had playoff implications. The NFC right now is wild. It's crazy. To sort through this will make your head hurt, but we're going to do it anyway. So, as of right now, 7 playoff spots, 3 teams are clinched. The Seattle Seahawks, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Los Angeles Rams. In the midst of all of that, for the NFC South, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, which Tampa Bay does have the tiebreak. But Tampa Bay has been looking icy as of late. You got the San Francisco 49ers, despite all of their injuries, they 10-4. You got Green Bay, who, again, last 2 games, they win their 2 games. They can still mess around with the NFC North, depending on what the Bears and the Lions end up doing. And you got the Detroit Lions, who are right now on the outside looking in, but they're 8-6. And they win their last 2 games because one of the games that they play is against the Bears, which will be for NFC North implications, possibly. So the Bears right now are number 2 in the playoff run. They play San Francisco and Detroit. They have to go 1-1 at the very least. They got to win at least one at the very least. They have to. This is very interesting because I don't know who San Francisco was playing, and I don't know who Detroit and Green Bay have to play.
Well, let's pull it up.
So you pull up Green Bay.
Green Bay's last 2 games is the Ravens and the Vikings.
Ooh.
So that should be interesting. The Ravens are still trying to play to get in.
Yep.
And then as far as San Francisco goes, their games are they have the Bears and then they have the Seahawks.
Huh. So everybody is just
everybody's playing for something.
Yeah.
So because watch this. This is what's so crazy, right? MJ, if we look at this from a realistic perspective, the 49ers could still win the division.
Yeah. They said that.
Because the Rams, their final games are against the Falcons and the Cardinals, which might be weaker, but at the same time, y'all still got to win a game.
You couldn't have drew this up better. You couldn't have, because nobody has an advantage right now that's in the playoff run that haven't clinched.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking right now to see who has the better conference record to maybe see what we would get. But I mean, it looks to me like if we're looking at this from this perspective, let's see. The Rams. Sheesh. The Rams' losses this year is the Seahawks, the Panthers,
the Niners.
The 49ers. They beat them this time, and then and the Niners. So we're talking about 2 of the Rams' 3 losses were in their division, and they're undefeated against the AFC.
Yeesh.
So it's like in this situation, with them splitting with those 2 teams, that they're in the same, you got to finish with a better record than them. So now what our next question is Seattle, what do you guys have left? And Seattle's last few games are the Panthers, who are fighting for something as well, and the 49ers.
Hey, listen, this could not have been written up any better.
Yes. So we basically got 6 teams fighting for 4 spots.
Yep.
Okay. I think altogether, I think Seattle is strong enough to be one of those teams. I think that the NFC West teams are going to be a really, really big factor in this. The problem here is that I don't know if the NFC North is going to be able to send more than one team this year because of the way that the other division is looking right now. But let's see what happens. I mean, as of today, we're looking at a situation where the Bears and Green Bay are both in today, and 3 NFC West teams are in today.
Yeah.
And that just leaves two spots for the other two divisions.
Yeah.
I
think
mean,
it could be easily, it could go 3, 2, 1, and 1. It can go there.
yeah, it can. But we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Because I'm really interested to see with the Panthers and Tampa Bay. Tampa has to win today.
No, it's not even not even a question.
They have to win today because if Tampa doesn't win today, we're going to be in a whole nother. That's going to open up a whole new world for us in here, Chief, and we just don't need that.
I'm here
So,
for it, man. Let's make this last week a memorable one. Why not? I'm here for it.
let's see, because Tampa's last 3 games, they played the Panthers twice in their last two times in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just need everybody to understand. I don't know if this is part of the script thing that y'all be talking about.
It is.
But they play the Panthers in the last 3 weeks twice, but then they come in the middle and they got to play the Dolphins. So you can't make this up to make this any better for television purposes because the winner of this division obviously gets the playoff spot, and the loser of this division, if it is Tampa Bay, we're gonna have some things to talk
about. Agreed.
Another thing to say. Now on the AFC side.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it.
On the AFC side of things, New England obviously is they haven't clinched the playoff spot, but the reason why they haven't clinched the playoff spot, quote unquote, in quotations, is because of Buffalo. But sorry to tell y'all, New England will be in the playoffs. So with Buffalo, what I think is the key is going to be the winner of the AFC North, because the Ravens still have to play the Steelers again.
Yes.
That is a big that is the Ravens season right there. This year. If they don't beat Pittsburgh one time, we might as well go ahead and just cancel Christmas. Go ahead and cancel Christmas then, because y'all getting ready to go on. But on the other side of this, you got a surging Texans team.
They look good.
That might be the team that nobody wants to play. Getting healthy at the right time. They have the number 1 defense right now currently in the league. We're talking about a team that a lot of people are going to really, really have a hard time with in this postseason situation. So it's really about seeding at this point. But the Texans got to take care of business, right? So let's start at the top for the Texans. You got the Raiders today, you got the Chargers, and you got the Colts. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is take care of your business, because the Colts schedule is
yeah, it's over. They had
so
start though.
You started off good, man.
At one point, y'all was the best team in the NFL.
At one point. But you see what happens when you peak too early. You know?
Marathon, not a sprint.
And it's now,
and it's crazy because it's still a marathon, not a sprint, but it's every game matters still.
Yes.
This is the most confusing shit ever. So you still living and dying with each week, because it's like each week have implications. But by the same token, you can't go so hard to where you empty your whole clip by week 11 either.
See, the problem here is just that the divisions are so, like, the AFC South is so close. It's separated by 2 games from first to third place. The Jags are up 2 games on the Colts, and the Jags are up 1 game on the Texans. So the Jags' last couple games that they got going on
Oh Lord. They got Denver today. They got the Colts next week, and then they got the Titans the following.
Okay.
So they have to listen. This is just these two games can be made up for the Colts if the Colts take care of business today.
Yeah. Who they play today?
The Colts today play.
In which we will get into, but
The 49ers.
Ah, sheesh.
Lord, man, this is it. Just listen. I tell y'all, this is not an easy stretch, and I just know like with everything that's going on, we talk about they lost to the Seahawks by 2 last week.
You talking about easy stretch, nigga? This is hot yoga.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing easy about this, bro.
So ask yourself, more than anything else, is the playoffs, as we know, they are about matchups. So in these conferences right now, currently, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth.
You always do.
The one part of this that is gonna make this the hardest part of all of this stuff that we talk about is the 6 and the 7 seed, respectively, in the AFC, especially, will probably be teams that might be better than the 2 and 3 seed.
Agreed.
And I say might be because New England, are they definitively better than the Texans if the Texans finish at 7?
No.
No.
We've been said they're a flawed football team.
So we asked that question. So my next question is, if the Charger, let's say if Denver finishes in a situation where they finish at the 2 seed, are they definitively better than the Texans?
It will
No.
be close. It will be close.
It'd be close, but CJ Stroud or Bo Nix?
You're right.
I think we want CJ.
Yeah, if everything clicking, absolutely.
So I think that's the key thing that we're talking about. And they're winning despite a flawed offensive line, which is probably their biggest Achilles heel in this process. So we have a really really interesting situation with our hands here. And then on top of them, like finishing in that same range, does anybody want to play the Bills this year? I mean,
And
they
they
don't
got
have Mahomes to say nobody this year.
right now. Jacksonville got to. Well, right now, New England got to see Buffalo right now. No. Jacksonville had to see Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nah, you don't want that smoke.
So ask yourself, does Jacksonville want to be an under the radar team, or do they want to be the division winner? Now I know it's a young team, you say be a division winner, right? But ask yourself with playoff seeding, who would you rather play?
I would rather the only team that I would rather play if I had a choice is the Chargers.
If I'm Jacksonville, I want to finish with the best record that I can so I can be as close as I can to play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the team that I want to play. If
Yeah.
I'm any of these
That's a good.
teams, I'm trying to finish 5, so I play Pittsburgh. That's where we want to be. The Chargers
Or Baltimore.
and the Jags are more than likely where we need to be. So let me see something. Chargers. Let's see. I think the Jags will own the tiebreaker against the Chargers. I think. I'm not sure.
Jacksonville did beat the Chargers this year, didn't it?
I think they did. That's why I'm looking right now.
I
I
believe.
think let's take a world and you can see. Oh yes. Oh yes. They beat them decisively too. They beat them 35-6. Heaven, I need a hug. Feeling like a change of heart. Ooh, they was doing the work of God on them folks.
Yo, shout out to Quamero in the comments, man. Just pulling this up. We talked about that earlier with the Bears, so you already know. I mean, yeah, this is about, to be honest, the most like This is like the definition of parity, what we're witnessing right now.
Mhm.
Even the teams that look good, we still like, I don't know.
If Jacksonville, if I'm them, I want to finish. I want to finish better than the Bills, obviously, but I want to finish with the same record as the Chargers. Because if I do that, I already know I'm gonna get a higher seed than them. But most importantly, I want to find myself in a position where if I'm number 3, I'm gonna have to play probably Buffalo or the Texans.
And I'm even looking at the Texans. Who's to say the Texans can't jump to number 3?
That's the other part of this. The Texans being at 3,
They're only
the
one
Texans.
game behind Jacksonville.
Then that's the next part because let's really play with our food real quick. What happens, right? What happens if the Chargers lose today? Because the Chargers got Dallas. The Chargers' last 3 games, in fact, is Dallas, the Texans, and the Broncos. If the Chargers lose these next 3 games, that's rough because that's going to put them at 10-7.
And that opens up Baltimore if they went out, even if Pittsburgh went out.
Well, no, it wouldn't open up Baltimore because Baltimore, if they went out, they would. Baltimore has to win out, and Pittsburgh would still have to lose that 1 game to them. Baltimore would be 8 games on the loss side.
Baltimore, if the Chargers lose the next 3 games and Baltimore wins out, they will have the same record, the Chargers and the Ravens.
Yeah, but that means that the Steelers would have to be a part of that conversation too, because the Steelers can't win out and the Ravens can't win out and not one of them not clash.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Okay.
But that's another thing too as well, because now we're getting into some of the other hypotheticals, and like I said, what if let's just say the Colts win the next 3 games?
Could happen.
Anything can happen, but you're looking at a situation where it could still be 3 teams from the AFC South that gets into the playoffs, 1 team from the AFC West, and 2 teams from the AFC East. Because I think the only thing that is a foregone conclusion is that both the Bills and the Patriots will make the playoffs.
So with that, let's talk about this week because this week is going to clear up a lot more.
Absolutely, let's do it.
So we're gonna talk about.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into this week's games, and then we get y'all out of here, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it nice and proper, like. So I kind of don't even want. No, we got degenerate gamblers, so we got to talk about every game. So it's 12 games on the docket. We're gonna talk about every one of them. So the Jets versus the Saints. Don't stay with me. It will be 30 seconds tops. All I'm gonna do is just name this. We ain't gonna even do an injury report for this because it don't matter. All right. The over and under is 40.5. The spread is plus 6.5 for the Jets. Money line plus 240. The Saints is negative 298, and the Saints is hosting.
Saints at home. I'm gonna say I want to pick Voodoo Village at Voodoo Village because that's just where they play their best football. They still have some pieces on the football team. I just don't think that they have the best pieces. As far as the Jets go, you guys need to see like everybody when people talk about like where teams need to be focused. I think for teams like these teams, like especially like the Jets, they need to be focused on trying to find the best talent. Like this BPA needs to be the biggest thing. So if you feel that the quarterback is the best player available, then you take him. If you don't feel that way, then you take the best player at whatever position that makes the most sense.
Correct.
And we're not talking about taking wide receivers. We're talking about the best players in the positions that change the team, the foundations, the pillars. So that's what I think the Jets need to focus on this year. You've already traded away some assets, so let's make sure that we're using those things the proper way. But give me Voodoo Village.
Anybody in the fantasy implications that can help somebody in their playoff?
Chris Olave, 5 catches.
Okay. All right, moving right along. 2 more eliminated teams: the Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans. Over under is 41.5. Actually, over under is 37.5. I apologize. We got 11.5, negative 11.5 points for the Kansas City Chiefs. Money line, negative 185 plus 154 for the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans obviously are at home. At this point, with no Mahomes, I still think Gardner Minshew can be able to at least be good enough to win this game. But this is the end of a dynasty until somebody take less money.
Kansas City, man, it's just real simple, man. Just do what you can to try to continue to put talent on the team. I mean, you're going to lose your quarterback probably for a year. That's fine. I think that Pat should sit out this year, not because we want a high draft pick or because anything like that. I just think that you sit out and you really look at your team from a microscopic lens and you say, what do we have and what do we not have? Because if you do it that way will protect you moving forward when he comes back. The better your team is without your superstar, the more your superstar gets to see where they can fit in. And I think that's going to be the best thing for the Chiefs at this point, because if the Chiefs are really smart, I would even see if there's even a way that maybe in this offseason we move some players that we don't like on our team.
Agreed. And I also will say this about it. It's just inevitable for a dynasty to just lose their magic. And I ain't talking about just on the players' end. Like the GMs, the picks just don't hit the same. You know, the trades just don't make the same sense. The play calling just don't have the same fluidity and continuity. It's just everything it's hard being great for that long in a sport. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. It gets mundane and you start to feel yourself a little bit to the point where you can, not put the same effort in you put when you were hungry. So it's inevitable for a fall off to happen for any sport. That's why when I see it, I'm just like, yeah, it's time. The only thing that I'm hoping is they don't utilize Pat Mahomes when he come back as just a guy to fill seats and they try to get back on the dynasty wagon again. But Pat Mahomes, not to count your pockets, that might require you to restructure your contract too, because you got to pay people in order for this to happen. So give me the Seahawks. As far as anybody from a fantasy implication goes, I don't really see anything that I would like to pick. What do you think?
You said the
fantasy.
No, you said the Seahawks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant for fantasy. I didn't mean to say Seahawks. I meant from a fantasy standpoint, Tennessee, Kansas City. Is there anybody that you see?
For Tennessee, Kansas City, I mean, I think you can always count on a little Kelsey. I say 4 catches. Besides that, I want to see what they do with this running game. I'm interested to see if they use these running backs. So if you got a couple dollars, I would plug some Pacheco on a couple, and I would plug Kareem Hunt and some other ones. I think Kareem Hunt will probably get the touchdown nods and things like that. But more than anything, I want to see what they do with that running game.
Yeah. And for my last-minute Christmas shoppers, don't be flipping your Christmas money right now. It's just not worth it. Buy the gifts. Just buy the gifts. Hey, man, we gotta have real-life conversations around here, man. Like, let me just go ahead and just go off on a tangent for a second. This is where it goes left. It's not an instruction manual for a lot of this shit out here. We just be out here, and nobody talks about it. We just be out here, everybody be faking like they know what's going on, and they don't know. They don't have no guidance. None. Yeah. So when I say these things and Jerv give me that look of judgment because he know I'm going to go off on a tangent, I say it because I know you don't know for real. But if I was to just bring it up in a random conversation, you will act like you know. You're like, oh yeah, no doubt. You didn't know that shit. But I'm going to let you lie to me and yourself.
Well, that's where we go with this thing.
Let's keep it real. You ever been in the bar and somebody talk football to you and you just hear one sentence and you be like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, do you? Have you ever happened to you?
Yeah, it happens to me every day.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Now incorporate that with life. That's how everybody don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Sense ain't common. This is not common knowledge. That's why I be saying certain things, and you be looking at me with that judgment. I'm like, I know these motherfuckers don't know. They probably thought they had the parlay of the century to flip and get their kids the best Christmas ever. No, don't do that. You gonna be pissed. I ain't trying to get you pissed. I ain't trying to see you pissed 4 days before Christmas. So just don't gamble the Christmas money. That's all. I'm just saying. The Christmas bag, don't gamble that. All right. Moving right along. We got the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. This is going to be quick again. 43.5 is the over-under. 1.5, they're giving Minnesota. The spread, actually it gave spread 2.5. I think that just changed. Money line, -148 for Minnesota, +124 for the New York Giants. The only thing I got for here is get some real grass, New York, for Christ's sake. I'm sick of seeing people get injured on your field. Get some real fucking grass. Y'all got all that money. This is the largest city in the United States of America, and y'all can't find no grass. Get some grass, man. Now, right now. That should be priority 1 and 2. Because it don't matter who you bring in if motherfuckers going to keep tearing their ACL on your bullshit turf. Get some grass. John, I'm sorry. I had to go there.
I mean, I just don't. People piss me off often. So I just look at these situations and I just ask, well, can we please use common sense? But whatever, neither here nor there. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not really too. I'm just waiting on the injury report to come out for because it comes out at 12. Um, I'm just not really too fond of certain games, and this is kind of one of them games.
That's what I'm saying. Look, we can move through as quick as you want, bro.
Because this, it just no,
Yep.
absolutely not. 1 second. Let's see.
If you want to play JJ McCarty, go right ahead. But if you you expecting your quarterback to produce a certain thing and you want to roll the dice, you either gonna look like a genius or a dummy in your fantasy league. But I think JJ McCarty could have a really solid game this year. I mean, this game he could really have a solid one. North of 250 yards, maybe sneak in a touchdown or two.
Well, I think this might be a good game to play Tyrone Tracy. The Vikings have been giving up some damage on the ground.
Yeah.
Besides that, Wardell Robinson, I think 5 catches for him today wouldn't be a bad thing, especially with the way that Jackson Dart is being used, and 200 all-purpose yards rushing and throwing for Jackson Dart is a good thing too today.
Okay. That's a good look. You're being such a good sport. You're just so festive right now because usually you don't give these games the time of day. So we appreciate you being support about this. I know this is gut wrenching for you to even think about talking about.
It's pretty trash.
I know,
but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just showing you. I have a range. I normally let Mo do all of the talking with all of these folks with that stuff. But
this was meant for you to shine a little bit. And speaking of trash, did y'all see y'all uncle hitting the trash can with a belt in that jersey? Did y'all see y'all uncle doing that? Hey man, y'all got to get y'all uncle, bro. That don't even be the worst part for me. It'd be when he be on all fours in the middle of the game. Like that's wild, honey. I could only imagine what went on in that White House in the 90s when his knees was really acting right. I can only imagine. I don't want to imagine, actually, because I don't want to open nobody cases up. So, moving right along, we're going to go Atlanta, Arizona, another insignificant-ass game that might have some playoff implications. Kirk Cousins probably might throw another 300. And Jacoby Brissett might throw a 300. That's pretty much all that's needs to talk about here, with the exception of the spread. 48.5 is the over-under. Money line is negative 155 for Atlanta. They're giving Arizona 3 points, plus 130 on the money line for Arizona. It is at home. John?
Bijan Robinson is the only running back in the league with 1,000 yards and 500 receiving yards.
That will
So just want to give you some information on that. I would play Bijan today. I would say 125 all-purpose yards is a really good thing and a touchdown for him if you just want to put somebody on a parlay. I think the biggest thing here for this particular team is let's just see if they continue to use Kyle Pitts, which he should be the biggest mismatch in the game today, with him being a tight end and being, pretty much one of the main guys on offense. So let's see what happens now with Kurt being the guy in there. But if you're the Cardinals, I think you need to be focused right now on what does the future look like and what are we trying to do in the future. Are we trading for a quarterback or are we going to draft a quarterback? If you trade for a quarterback, you can accelerate this process a little bit. If you draft a quarterback, then you put yourself in a situation where you have a 5-year test run that you can put some things together and build around. So whichever one you decide is what you decide, but give me the Falcons today. I think the Falcons should be able to come in and take care of business. I think Bijan is one of the best running backs on one of the worst teams in the league. And I think that's one of the reasons why we don't hear them talk about him enough.
Understood. Next 3 games I call playoff, no playoff. Meaning one team is in playoff contention, the other team is not. So let's get through those. Buffalo Bills versus the Cleveland Browns. Over-under is 40.5. Negative 650 for Buffalo, plus 470 for Cleveland. They're giving Cleveland 10 points at home. I just want them to give Shedeur the right wristband. It's simple for me. But
Listen, this is a game that Buffalo could lose. But explain why, though. If Cleveland comes into the game and they have certain pieces are going to mess with what Buffalo does. Myles Garrett is also chasing the sack record. We should see the sack record broken today if Myles Garrett is active. So with that being said, 12-4, we always got it in the air. Let me see. Injury report. With that being said, I would like for everybody to remember that the biggest thing that we face this week for the Buffalo Bills is can we continue to stay healthy and get healthy?
Yeah.
Make sure we have all of our pieces. So we can't have this game turn into a physical game too for us down the stretch where we're fighting with Cleveland at the end of the game, because that's going to put other people susceptible to be hit harder, get hurt, things of that nature. So if I'm Buffalo, we got to come out, jump on them early, take care of business. Cleveland.
I know, bro. I know.
I mean, he busted AP down. It was perfect time. And the baguettes, they on his neck. They stay shining. Nice. I'm just saying, like, we gotta do something better. Y'all complain. Like, I noticed everybody who was out there just talking all this negative nonsense about the dude. You realize that he's actually outplayed even that of Cam Ward since he's been starting. That's not saying he's anointed as the greatest thing that ever happened. That's just saying that y'all gotta start paying attention to the fact that a lot of this stuff that's going on around him is not normal. He's performing despite things around him being very, very bad. So let's remember that when we grade and evaluate him.
Hey.
I'm gonna do this. 10 points to me for Buffalo, and knowing that they don't finish their food too, is crazy to me. So give me an alternative spread of 7. And then what we're going to do, 6.5 for the alternative spread, just in case. And then after we do the alternative spread of 6.5, give me Buffalo today. I want them to whoop on their ass today. But I do want Shedeur to keep putting his wrist up. I need to see some sellies today. But give me Buffalo 27, Cleveland 20. I just like to keep that streak of Shador scoring 20 points. We got to come back and bounce back after the 3 points last week.
I seen Men of Honor the other day, and it reminded me of Shador when Cuba Gooding Jr. would have to fix the thing underwater, and they cut his bag open. That's what Shador is going through right now. It's just like, yo, just get this man a fair shake. Golly.
He walk into a game, he won't have no offensive lineman. The first thing I'll say is he need to stay in the pocket. For what? Caleb offensive line is healthy. His offensive line is not. Then you want him to stay in the pocket, but then you gonna tell Caleb to run. Y'all got me. You know what?
I know, bro. Hey, it's almost Christmas. We ain't gonna have your own Grinch energy. It's gonna be festive. It's gonna be festive. I get it. All right, so next game, playoff, no playoff. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Houston Texans. Negative 12.5 on this one. Total over under is 39.5. They're giving Las Vegas plus 800. Negative 1350 for the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, I actually got their defense on my fantasy, so I am expecting a great shellacking. Maybe a special teams touchdown will be dope. Maybe I get some lump of coal in my coat. We don't know. John.
Start the defense. Woody Marks might have a big game today. Be on the lookout for that. Besides those things as well, I would also tell you today is the day that I'm hoping that we can see CJ Stroud kind of get a good little, a nice little game going forward toward the playoffs. Let's get 250 yards in the air today and 3 touchdowns. Let's cruise. You know, the city is back. Just look at the map. We wasn't up in the game.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, let's go.
Hey man, I'm all for the banana daiquiris and the turkey legs, bro. Let's get it.
Listen, swishers and Doja.
Yeah, man. And them weird I'll be driving that look like it could cut somebody if you look like you could scrape somebody's car if you drive by it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we already know, man. Shout out to Mike Jones. All right. Playoff, no playoff. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys. One in that. It's crazy on the playoff, no playoff. It's still only a 1.5 spread.
So this is actually a good game for the day, right? This actually should be a good game for the day.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so what I want to see today for this game, right? So we're gonna get right into this one because this is actually something fun and festive, right?
Yeah.
This is a game where I could realistically see our George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb debate kind of fully settled today. Why I say that is because it's the contrast of the two styles. You got your big play guy that's going to get some big plays down the field. He's a contested catch guy, probably one of the best ball trackers in the league. And you got CeeDee Lamb, one of the best guys to do all of the detailed, intricate things, get open on third down, keep drives alive, things like that. So this type of game, you're going to need them to complement each other the most because the Chargers have a balanced breakfast on defense. I think altogether with that team needs more than anything else. They need to focus more than anybody else on third down, making sure they can get off the field.
Yeah.
Because Dallas is one of those teams that they can methodically drive down the field. Third down is going to be an important down. I know that's cliche, but why I'm saying that, I believe whoever wins third down today wins this game. Whoever wins third down, and most importantly, whoever capitalizes the best in the red zone. Cliche, again, I know. But what I'm saying is these are the type of games that you see Dallas come out and kick field goals and the Chargers come out and kick field goals. These teams are really almost like the Spider-Man meme in certain aspects with a high-profile quarterback. We just don't understand why they don't get where they need to get to when it's always the time for it's always time for the good time. So moving on to give you guys a prediction, I actually feel like Dallas is going to win today. Give me the Cowboys today, 31-21. I think this is a really, really good game. And I just think that, to be honest with you, this is one of those games where the Chargers' inept ability to close out some games earlier in the season that they should have won starts to come back to bite them, because I'm going to make another bold prediction here today. I don't think the Chargers make the playoffs.
Fair enough. I never was a believer in them anyway. Now, I will say this for fantasy implications. Shout out to y'all who picked Javonte Williams in like the 5th to 8th round. And I apologize to those who picked Ashton Jitty in the 1st and 2nd round. Cold game sometimes. Cold game. That's the way love goes. One of these days, y'all gonna stop playing fantasy, but you know what? Who am I to tell you what to do with your life? All right, now both of these teams are in playoff contention for the last games. We saved the best for last, as we usually do. This is the dessert. So let's just get right to it. Let's start with Tampa Bay and Carolina. 7-7 versus 7-7. 7-7-7.
Let's 45-47. I want to see today more than anything else. If you're Carolina, let's come out and let's try to hit him in the mouth in the first quarter, and let's try to sustain it.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, you're getting healthy. Don't get me wrong. You're not all the way healthy. We understand.
No,
this is a winnable game. This is a very, very important game.
Extremely important.
Baker, let's start with some things here that we got to improve on, and we still are trying to get you to improve on, even at 30 years old. We got to stop trying to make the home run play every time. Sometimes the check down is there. Sometimes out of bounds is your friend.
Did you learn nothing from watching 12? Guess not.
Gotta learn. But with that being said, that's from their side. If you're Carolina, just keep doing what you've been doing. Like, it's not broke, don't fix it. You got a nice young receiving core. You got a lot of good things going with your quarterback playing very well right now. It's time for you guys to just take that next step to go to the next level. Ultimately, today, who I think wins, give me Carolina.
Ooh, okay. Now it's getting spicy. I just ordered the
I'm taking Carolina because I think they're going to run the ball more.
Yes.
I think they're going to be more consistent with it, but I think they're also going to set their quarterback up and make better plays. I just don't know if this Bucs team is – I think the injuries derailed them a lot, but I think ultimately that's the difference in this team this year is the injuries.
4-2 at home are the Carolina Panthers. 3-4 away are the Tampa Bay. So just to kind of put that in perspective too, the odds are in Germ's favor of pick. From a fantasy standpoint, you know, if whoever you got from this game, play him. Shouts out to y'all if y'all were like me who picked Chuba Hubbard in the 5th round, only to lose production for Rico Dowdell because you forgot to pick him up when he got injured. You know, I'm a busy man. I don't got time to work the waivers like I used to. Maybe this might be the end of a dynasty for my fantasy league. You know, since we ended dynasties, and they'll start a new beginning. I got a new chick named Corporate America that I'm flirting with right now. She telling me some stuff, so we'll see. All right, but I'll still always be back on the podcast. I'll never leave that. Now, moving right along, we got Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Denver Broncos. Oh yeah, the Tampa Bay Carolina, the over under. Hold up. I got to tell the honey mustard. All right. So, multitasking. So, the over-under was 44.5, -3 for Tampa Bay. Money line was -155 and +130. So, Jacksonville Jaguars, over-under is 46.5. +3.5, they're giving Jacksonville Jaguars, +154 on the money line, -185 for the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos have not lost at home yet, but the Jacksonville, surprisingly, are 6-2 in away games. John?
Well, the style clash. This is what we're going to like to see today. Jacksonville, if they run the ball, they're going to have a shit chance to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denver, if you know that, why not stop the run and make Sunshine beat you?
Sunshine.
That's kind of where we at. Now, on the flip side of this, if you allow Denver to run the ball, you're just gonna they're gonna kick your ass. So what I would suggest for Jacksonville is You need to make sure you stop the run so you can make Bo Nix beat you. Whichever quarterback plays the best in this game, simply put, is the quarterback that will win. Now let's start it. Let's make sure I say
Uh-oh.
this. I don't want to hear no crazy nonsense like, okay, they only won because of this or whatever the case is. A win is a win is a win in this NFL.
And this.
Let's make sure that if Jacksonville wins this game today, let's make sure we respect them as
Yeah,
they need to be respected. Because Denver, this is a you better special. This is a team that is about to come to your house late in the year, and this is your last home game, I believe, of the season.
it is.
You cannot allow them to come and violate you on your own soil. Because if you do that, you're going to put yourself in a real interesting situation. Yeah, you might own a tiebreaker, but do you really want to put yourself in a situation where you're not ahead one game so that that tiebreaker doesn't matter later, just in case something happens?
Yeah, don't get chased around your stadium, B. Don't get chased around your stadium.
Give me Jacksonville today.
Oh, he think they gonna get chased around the stadium. All right.
I just want to see the world crash and burn.
Say less. All right, so Pittsburgh, Detroit, or New England, Baltimore? Which one you want to go first with?
Let's do Pittsburgh, Detroit first.
All right. I knew you'll say that one for last. All right. Pittsburgh, Detroit. Over under is 52.5. Money line is plus 320 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, minus 410 for the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions 5-2 at home. Pittsburgh 5-3 away. They are giving negative 7.5 to Detroit.
Now, number one, I don't want to see this game turn into an ugly game because Pittsburgh doesn't stop the run. I think ultimately what needs to happen here is we need to make sure that we force Jared Goff to play his best game of the season. I know it sounds a lot like what I said about the last game, but right now, this is the time of year that you need to see what these quarterbacks are made of. Because if the quarterback doesn't come in hot, it doesn't matter what's going on. No matter how good your team is, the quarterback is the engine that's going to drive this ship, or the pilot that's going to drive this ship to where it needs to go. So, with
Okay.
that being said, I need to see Pittsburgh stop the run today. Stopping the run needs to be the biggest part of what we do today. Because if Jahmyr Gibbs has a big game, you're going to lose by more than 7 points. Because now that sets up the play action. Now that sets up a lot of other things. And there are a couple of very fast humans on that offense. Okay. Now, for Pittsburgh, on your end, you need to run the ball. You need to run the ball.
Please.
Turn around and hand the ball off. That's what you need to do. Aaron Rodgers, I need you to play. I need you to come and show up. I need you to do your thing. Because right now, you are the biggest difference between this team last year at this time is you. It's you. I need to see you take care of your business today. You should have the matchups on the outside to be able to make this interesting. And with both of these teams playing at this particular time of the year, this game means more to who? It means more to the Lions.
Yeah.
But give me Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Crash and burn.
okay. Just crash and burn everything. All right. So last game on the docket, it happens to be the 7:20 game that they probably flexed. The New England Patriots versus the Baltimore Ravens. Total is 48.5 on the over-under, plus 150 is what they give in New England. On the money line, negative 180 for Baltimore on the money line. The spread is plus 3 for New England. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you have it.
Let's make this. Look, I'm making it easy for y'all today. This game is all about where Baltimore is in their progression defensively. If Drake May is able to sit back in his pocket and throw for 250 plus with ease because of that man defense that y'all play, it's going to be a long afternoon because the running game will still be there. And their running game with TreVeyon Henderson now has a pop to it that it didn't have with just Ramondre Stevens.
Yes.
So If you allow yourself to get in situations where Travion can get into open space, he will gash you and he will house call you. So what I need to see more than anything else is I need to see gap integrity and those type of things from Baltimore, especially when it's trying to move toward the playoff season. Now, if you are Baltimore and you see that the running game is getting going and you find yourself in situations where the play action fake and things like that are killing you like they are, you're going to need your former MVP quarterback to put you guys on his back today. Today is the day that Lamar needs to step up and he needs to show his true show who he is and what he is, because today is the day that you're going to need him the most. If you don't keep this alive today, you are going to be in a bad situation. And for New England, you're playing with house money because you don't have anything to gain or lose. You have nothing to gain or lose right now. The only thing that you need to focus on right now is making sure that you take care of winning your last couple of games, knowing that Buffalo may have a couple tougher games than you. You do that, you'll be right where you need to be. For New England, it shouldn't be about seeding. It should just be about getting in. For Baltimore, everything is about you guys getting in from your division. So you need this win and you need every win for the rest of the year. But give me New England. I think New England's a better team at this time.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. We're going to give y'all 37 minutes of y'all time to prepare for football. I'm waiting on my Wendy's. So you got any parlays for those people who
well, we already talked about a couple of those things. I think Drake May and Lamar both for 200 plus all-purpose yards. Give me Travion Henderson for 50 plus all-purpose yards. I mean, y'all just gotta have to put a couple dollars on some of these parlays. Sometimes that's what it takes. And make sure you put Drake May in for 2 touchdowns today in the air. I think they'll be able to. I think this will be a relatively strong game. I think quarterback over under. I would take the overs on some of these quarterbacks today. I think Josh Allen and Shador should both be a good over under. I think both Drake May should be over. Who else? Give me over on Sunshine today, and then give me over on who's the other quarterback? It was another quarterback I can't think of at the top of my head. It was another over.
Joey B.
No, it was
McCarty, Dart, Rattler, Golf, CJ.
I'm up at CJ. CJ. Maybe the Denver for a defensive touchdown, or the Texas for a defensive touchdown today. I could see that being a possibility too. But besides that, that's pretty much all I got today. I don't have a lot of big parlay stuff today. I really didn't get a chance to really study a lot of them this week like I normally do.
Yeah.
It's been a really busy week.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. My brother.
Sorry.
Appreciate you being here this morning. And most importantly, shout out to all of the people in the comments and everybody who checks out the video now, and even if you check it out later. Shout out to you. You're a real MVP. Make sure you guys tune in. We want to get some more content out coming up this week. I just need a little bit more time with some things. But be mindful with the playoff push coming up. We want to push some more content, and we want to really, really, really give you guys some more stuff. If you guys got some stuff that you guys want to see, also don't be scared to reach out, say something. We can also make some special shows and some custom stuff for you guys. Moving forward, just make sure you guys enjoy the games. Make sure you guys have some fun, eat some good food. It's getting ready to be festive. We won't see you probably until Christmas or after there sometime.
Yeah, sir.
That being said, make sure y'all get yourselves a nice gift now you're here. Now, with that being said, MJ, any final words?
Views 22.